Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, so we've gone live now. Got it. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. So, can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, okay. No, so we're on live right now. So how's it been?
Oh, it's good, man. Just hold on a second. All right, just working, man. It never stops, man. It's just non-stop grind and hustle and work, man. Just trying to stay on top of everything because I wear all the hats, you know, and in this day and age, you kind of have to if you want to get some traction or get anywhere. So
okay,
I eat, sleep, and breathe it, man. So
okay,
I can't wait to retire.
You can't wait to retire. Okay. Well, I mean, as I said, this is one of the first times that I've had the opportunity to go live to actually show, you know, the halftime community just how interviews are live, just because generally, as I said, I always pre-record and stuff. But I guess one of the things that people who might not be familiar with you, it'd be great to sort of introduce you, sort of your background, where you're from, and just sort of your story, and at least then we can go from there.
Okay, unscripted. Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
My name is St. Jaimz, Saint Jaimz, singer, songwriter, producer, R&B connoisseur. Man, I've been in the game about 30 years.
Wow.
I got my start in the military singing, and ultimately had an opportunity to sing background vocals for R&B singer Joe in the early 90s. I've been shopping record deals since I was 18. Man, I was one of the first artists to really blow up off of CD Baby when Derek Sivers was the president of CD Baby back in the day.
I remember the CD Baby. Yeah. Like an independent worth distribution. Yeah. That wow.
Yeah, it first came out as a distributor, man. It was like a big thing, and they really helped a lot of artists launch a lot of careers. And man, Derek Sivers is a good friend of mine to this day. We chat on email occasionally, but you know, just really an independent artist, man, in the game. You know, some dreams don't come true, you know, in life for you, yeah. but I'm still doing what I love to do on my own terms, utilizing social media and the free open market which is the internet to promote your content, man. So I'm just going to continue to put out quality music and content the best that I can at the level I can financially afford to do so. Yeah. Because let's be clear, the music game has totally changed financially. Artists aren't making money that they should be. I mean, the list goes on, but that's pretty much a gist of who I am. But most importantly, you know, I'm just the R&B cat, man, lover of R&B for ride or die for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, what some of the interesting points that you've made is, and since the last time we spoke, I've had an opportunity to speak to two other people who have a very similar sort of, I won't say advice, but they tend to side with the structure that you're going with. And that was Jay King, who was formerly, well, he's not formally, he's still part of
Club Nouveau.
Club Nouveau. Mm-hmm. And Matthew knows the, you know, from Music World, who's the dad of Beyonce. Mm-hmm. And they were both somewhat different from all the artists and guests I've had in the past who have spoken about how the record labels have taken advantage of them. They came from a different attitude that, look, if you sign with a label, they're investing in you. It's almost like getting a loan from a bank. And, exactly. And they dictate the terms because you pretty much have taken the money and stuff. And if you want to go independent, then you pretty much finance it yourself and then become your own boss. But most people tend to take the easy way out. And when it doesn't work in their favor, then they have the sub story. How have you found it yourself?
You know, I think labels are exactly what you said. That's been my mantra since I really reconnected with this independent game is to basically, you might as well get a bank loan And you're gonna, but anyway, either way, you're gonna learn. You're gonna pay some dues. You're gonna learn some lessons. There's some people out there that don't have your best interest in mind with your finance. They don't care about your music. They don't care about your content and what you're trying to do. They try to take care about getting money from you, and they will sell you a pipe dream to get it. So you gotta have to go through the pitfalls, and hopefully you can meet quality people and learn quickly. See, there's a learning curve for everybody in this independent games, more so than the mainstream. Because in the mainstream, the major labels, they do it all for you, but they still do the same thing. The independent game, you do it for yourself, and the risk is ultimately yours, and you're gonna have to learn how not to get got in this business, or how not to be taken advantage of, or conned or scammed out of your money. So it's, I'm really trying to put myself in a position to be able to be like a consultant in a positive way towards these independent artists out here, because I'm paying a lot of the dues that they're going to have to pay later if they don't want to listen. And the biggest problem is getting these artists to listen, because it's like anything else. When you've been jaded, damaged, traumatized, it's hard to trust anybody. So you already got your antennas up. As soon as somebody start talking, you get, and so it's so many variables and moving parts in this part of the music industry. But everybody, to me, just to put a pin in that and leave it at that, I'm gonna say this. We're all talking about how horrible the music business is. We all have a horror story, skeletons, all kind of drama. We hear it, but no one's doing anything to change it. And to me, I'm just kind of tired of hearing the narrative of how bad the business is, but everybody's still singing, still rapping, still, still shooting videos, still promoting. So what are we going to do collectively as a collective to change the industry towards the better and more positive direction? I don't know if it's going to happen in my lifetime, but I'm hopeful, man. Prayerful and hopeful that we can all rally around the situation, come together. And in America specifically, our government has to get involved to regulate this industry, because if you think about movies and film, you can't make a movie without a SAG card, a union membership, paying some dues, and being, IDBMs and all that stuff. You have to basically have your stuff together. So why can anybody get out of prison and just say, I'm a rapper today? I just decided I'm gonna start rapping. I just decided singing today. And nobody questions it. There's no credentials. You don't got to verify it, confirm it. It's crazy. So yeah,
but there's no incentive for the record label to make any changes, because at the end of the day, they invest a little bit, and then own a lot, and there are many people who are willing to go down this route of take all my creativity just for a little cash up front. So I don't know who. I know that the government, you might think about, okay, can't the government get involved, especially for those legacy artists? The fact that signed deals that they weren't aware of, and have a sort of statute of limitations as to how long somebody can own their creativity. But in the interim, you want this money, and these are the terms for it, and you sign it off. It's kind of hard to me to see why the labels would want to change, because it seems to be working for them.
Well, you good point, and you're absolutely right. And there's going to always be predatory lenders out there. And that's what I call a record label, a predatory lender, because that's basically all they're doing. So we already know what that leads to: ultimately a recession, a depression, or a transgression.
Yeah.
So to me, if you I try not to focus on that. And to me, the only bad deal is the one that you sign. So if people did their homework and research, I'm only speaking specifically about African Americans in urban music specifically, because we thought as a people in our country, specifically in America, to be reading and writing was almost a crime. And so now that we have the liberty and the technology and the libraries and everything to be able to do so, a lot of us won't pick up a book or do any research, but always complaining about getting taken advantage of. And I think when you think about these contracts these artists sign, they have opportunity to vet those contracts, legal jargon aside, better than they do. But in the moment of desperation, a lot of them come from impoverished situations. They barely could feed their family, but barely got food over there in their refrigerators and roof over their head. So they make a desperate decision and later on regret it. But And I think also when you think about entertainment law, a lot of lawyers get upset with me, entertainment lawyers. I don't care because they need to do a better job of protecting the artist. So if you're in bed with the label as a lawyer, you're not doing me a favor trying to act like you care about being my entertainment lawyer when you're in bed with the lead labels and you guys have a handshake deal on the side for my contract. Or you bring artists to me and you their lawyer. A lot of lawyers back in the 90s used to shop deals for artists. And then they're kicked back from shopping the deal with the artist for the artist, but then they're in bed with the label so that they know the contract was probably not super solid, and they'll tell the artist that it was or it's decent. It's a good deal.
Standard.
Right. Thinking that the lawyers got their best interest in mind. The lawyers in bed with the label. So until that type of stuff changes, entertainment law to me is a joke. And if you look at the entertainment law overall, think about it. The only time that you can get in trouble in the music industry is if it's for federal copyright infringement. That's the only time you can end up in prison or find yourself in some serious civil money situations negatively. But everything else, people stealing your ideas, stealing your tracks, or
I think
no trouble.
Yeah, I mean, if we go back, because the one thing you said early on as you started off is that that for today's artists, unless you're signed by a label who has a big machine, the ability to earn income isn't as great today, especially since you're not reliant, you don't have the luxury of people buying CDs like we used to. I mean, even if I wanted to support an artist and bought a CD, I have no place to play it. Even my laptop doesn't have a CD player. So for today's artists, especially for yourself, because you've invested a lot. If anyone doesn't know, if you search for St. Jaimz on YouTube and you see his channel, he's continually putting out quality music, not duets, collaborations with other artists. He even has his dad producing some stuff with his dad. But when you're creating all this music, and you invest in doing some really high quality videos, do you see the revenues coming in for all the hard work you're putting in, or is it more of a promotional vehicle for you?
Okay, that's a damn good question. Let me just put the word D for emphasis, and I will say this: there's some income coming in. It's a different type of income. It's not going to be a lump sum. The way these distributors, now that's another thing. Distribution is the biggest problem outside of everything else. I mean, you can do everything else on your own, but distribution is difficult to have as an independent solo. Like you have to damn near go through a third-party distributor or a two-party distributor, or usually a three-way distribution situation. It could be Universal / whatever, somebody that bought you to Universal and / you. So you last on, it's your music, it's your product, but you last on the damn totem pole to get your name. So it's Universal / whoever you went with plus then you. It's not you then Universal. It's just crazy. So distribution is the problem. So what's happening is distribution companies are giving artists, third-party distribution companies. I don't want to name names, but I just want to, because I don't want to incriminate myself in the situation because once you mention names out that they get real sensitive. So, but when you think about these distribution companies online, the usual suspects, the ones most people go through, okay, they'll say, I'll give you an 85-15 split. And that's 85%. You get 85% of all your money or 100%. And we just charge you to upload your content per EP or per single. Let's say you take off and do millions of streams. Do you think they're going to give you 85% of $100,000 if you do 20 million streams? Just, you don't know. You cannot tell. You cannot assume that these artists are not going to get popular or pop off or catch on viral or do something amazing just because they're not signed to a label. So these independent distributors assume that artists aren't going to stream big numbers. And what they find out is later when they do, if I get $10,000 worth of streaming 1 month and you only get 15% of that, what you want to think? I mean, and as I keep doing it, you're going to be like, oh, well, so what they start doing is creating this lie that you're suspicious streaming activity. So let's say you got big numbers in streaming. they'll say, oh, we suspect that your streams are not organic, so we're not going to pay you. So then that whole 10,000 you get none of it now, because they suspect. No proof, no evidence, no analytical data to substantiate their claim. All they have to do is say it's suspicious activity, communicate with Spotify or these other platforms, and they will take your stuff down, blackball you off the. It's gotten really out of hand, man. And then you got on the other side of that, you got people streaming. You got streaming curators taking your money, saying they're going to put you on a certain playlist to get your numbers up, and you have no idea every day what your count's going to be, because it's like a crapshoot. You roll the dice. You wait every 24 hours when they update the system to see where your streaming numbers are. And you probably spent 1,500 to 2,000 for 6, 7, 8 playlists. And then you might be out of 100 people on the songs on the playlist, you might be 90, 85. How many times do you think your record's going to get spun or streamed in a 24-hour period if you 85 out of 100 on the list? It's a lot of little stuff going on, and it's getting frustrating. So, but I just push through it, man. I think artists got to promote better. They got to get more aggressive with their content. You can't settle for what you think that's dope this month and last month or 6 months ago. You got to constantly work on your logos, work on your graphics. Your website's got to be polished. It's a consistent thing, because it's not even about it's not about getting viral or a bunch of people like you. It's that people will respect you when they see something worth respecting. I'm gonna say that again. People will respect what you do when they see something worth respecting. Unfortunately, when you're starting out and you're not polished, people are going to say, okay, he's cool, but he need to work on that. He need to work on that. He need to keep getting better at that. And so as you continue to grind and thrive and get better, you'll start seeing attraction happen. It's a consistent grind, man, and you have to be committed to it. I mean, so much to it, man. Just so much.
Wow. I mean, so we have people like Chance the Rapper being a sort of a poster boy for independent artists who have made it big, and then we think, if he could do it, how come everyone else can't?
I don't think that. Listen to me. I think I look at hip hop as a genre right now. It is the #1 selling genre on the planet, and it's just what it is. Because I don't really want to get too political or into that part of it, but I think it's got something. I think it's racially motivated. I think, like anything else, and I don't know about in your country, but I'm sure you guys go through it too. I've seen glimpses of your guys' racism, discrimination experiences in England, but I know in America, man, why would a multi-billion-dollar industry not have racial discrimination, undertone, and disparity in it? It's incredible that we think because we sing, we rap, we dance, whatever, we make visuals, that racism isn't the motivating factor. Because let's call it what it is. This is all about money. It may be about art to you and music to you and my stuff and my music, but it's money to everybody else. Analytics, and then nowadays, because of the tech digital age, it's more about analytics than it is about the quality of the music. That's why it doesn't matter how good or how bad the record is. It matters the numbers. So like in the NBA or in American sports, a lot of those guys that are behind the scenes are more worried about the percentage of how often you shoot this shot. Is the three gonna go in versus are you a good basketball player or are you any sound quality player? They care about your numbers. It's all statistically driven. The same thing with the music industry. So I don't know why people are shocked when hip hop is doing well because of the money that's being generated off of the hip hop genre. I mean, it's easy to show love to people if you're focusing on these rap music and in Black America. When you listen to a lot of hip hop today, they're not talking about anything but misogynistic overtones, sexuality, and criminalizing situations and criminal things and negativity. So if that's making billions of dollars for the industry, why would they not promote that more than somebody talking about love? It ain't gonna.
Yeah. I mean, Donnell, when I had him on a few weeks ago, said the same thing, that they, if he saw the shift, and almost felt as if there was an agenda, like, let us take, and even Tank has said it recently, that, that if the Black community are singing about love, they'd rather silence that, promote love in any other community, or push the negativity that is spewed out through hip hop. And I guess that's, a lot of us would look and think on our R&B that was so dominant in the 80s and the 90s, it just seemed to have been eroded towards the late 90s, early 2000s, where hip hop, who used to feature on an album, became the main act, and then the R&B acts started to feature in there. But the undertone as to what they're singing about started to change, and that became the direction in which they're going. And I can then imagine if you, like any R&B artists who are singing and creating music that promotes love and positivity, sort of doesn't have a platform in order to express yourself.
Mm. Well, I know. Listen. I think we all, with the invent of the internet, we all have a platform. The question is, how much are you willing to invest in that platform? How consistent are you willing to be with that platform? And how do you deal with criticism? How well do you deal with minimal traction? Because the average person isn't going to click like or subscribe. They're just not going to do it for whatever reason. So how do you get past that when you only got 2 views on the record? Something is super good, or you think is super good. How do you keep posting? Do you get discouraged? Do you stop? I mean, yeah, I get it, but I think we all have a platform. What you gonna do with your platform? Are you gonna invest in it? Take the time to build it. Don't take it too serious, because I love this stuff, but not to the point where it's gonna make or break me. I can put this all down and get back to a really happy, blessed life. Because I'm a hustler and a grinder and work hard, military, ex-military. So whether I do this or not doesn't make or break me. However, I love what I'm doing. And I just, and I love when people reach out and tell me that the song that I just put out or the music that I'm making is inspiring them or impacting their lives in a positive way. To me, at this point, I'm 54, 55 years old. I'm not trying to be a superstar. I ain't looking for fame. Not doing it. Can't be doing it for the money, because I'd be homeless if I was. So I got to be doing it for the love of the music, man, and the genre that I so love so much, R&B, man. I'm gonna keep on doing it for as long as I can stomach it. But I got to tell you, man, there's some days I just want to. I'm like Marvin Gaye, make me want to holler, throw up both my hands, man.
It is strange. This is probably the first time as you were talking, it just hit me. The number of different channels who do interviews or who have stuff, and they seem to be a lot more. They get the analytics or somehow get pushed quite a bit. Channels that can talk about more gossip sites, talk about, oh, did you know about this, and look at the drama here, and I never even understood why they could release a video and the channel YouTube will push that content far wider, but then a few that focus on just listening and talking to positivity tend to have to fight to try and weave through. But I never understood. I just kept doing it. But as we were talking, now I can start to see how, if I started to switch and I focused on the negativity and I started to focus on, did you realize that, that he stole money from this person and had those type of headlines and stuff, I might start seeing a massive spike in how many people are accessing the videos. And as I said, and which is unfortunate, and which is like, wow, even I am not a recording artist, but I can start to see how content that pushes and looks at positivity doesn't get the same type of automatic push. And I don't know if this is an agenda or if it's just the fact that people are looking for more of the gossip stuff, and so they might as well push that instead.
I think we're living in a time of misery. So I think that people are, not everybody, but a great percentage across the world after COVID, man, the last 3 years have been really challenging for so many people, from the quarantine phase to the lockdown phase, to the vaccination phase, to the variant phase. And now we got monkeypox all over the damn place showing. And it's just amazing. So we kind of have to give ourselves a mental and emotional reprieve, not so much as a pass. There's no excuse for violence and violating other people. But I do think people are mentally, that stuff is traumatic, man. And people lost loved ones, couldn't go to funerals, couldn't go to graduations, missed so much major milestones in people's, their loved ones' lives and stuff. And then interpersonal relationships, romantic relationships, marriages, been going through hell, man, since this situation. So if you can't deal with your own stuff, how you gonna deal with your family? And it gets crazy. So I think all of that combined, music is the soothing balm, if you will, for all that ails the savage beast. And so misery loves company. And when misery loves company, why would people want to hear something positive when they're miserable? They love the negative because they're in a negative space. So I think that's human nature to gravitate to. And remember back in the day when they were back in the civil rights movement and Jim Crow, man, they were lynching people. That people would come from miles just to see somebody be hung. Really? Wow. That's misery. People love that negative because half of those people were poor white trash, racist, poor white trash Americans, man, that were watching like a carnival, man, a spectacle, watching young black men being lynched and hung from trees and gallows and stuff, man. So to me, it doesn't surprise me. I get it. The only thing I want to do is try to keep making positive music and reaching one person at a time. If you think about it, one person at a time versus trying to be loved by the world, I think you can change your perspective, and then you won't be so disappointed and hurt all the time because you're not looking. Back in the day, we wanted to be superstars and Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey's and Michael Jackson's, and now you just got to be glad that people even listening to you, liking your stuff, commenting on you, and streaming your music, and just be grateful that you can do it. That's it.
I mean, with yourself, are you? Because I see a lot of the visuals for the new videos you do and the collaborations. But are you touring? Because most of the artists, especially the '90s artists, they aren't investing in making new music, but they are touring quite a bit and getting their revenues from there. What's it like for you?
Well, I haven't done any live situations. I got some opportunities coming. People definitely want to book me, but I am not. I'm a perfectionist. So if I haven't, I'm Motown. Take yourself back to the Motown review days. Them boys didn't get on that bus without no rehearsal time. They wasn't just getting on the bus, go singing. See, singers want to sing that once you record a record, you then got to go back and learn the record that you just recorded in order to sing it live. So a lot of artists will go in the studio, make this really super record, don't practice nothing, go get right thrown out on the stage with a backing track, and you hear the pitchiness. It don't sound the same because they haven't invested the time to rehearse. I am not getting on the stage and embarrassing myself without rehearsal. So unless I can get my band tight, my background singer, and my whole show organized right with the right, it's a lot to just doing show. You just don't start singing places just because somebody want to hear you sing. Because you get one chance to mess it up.
Yeah.
So I just I'm taking my time. I'm putting together properly. So when I get on the show, I do my first couple shows, let the floodgates open to get booked because I'm trying to work. So I'm putting that together now. But in the meantime, I'm a recording artist first, a live performer second. A lot of people are live performers first, recording artists second. So I'm a natural born recording artist. So I'm going to the studio and lay some really good records. I can kill it live too, but live takes more rehearsal time, more practice, and more, you got to really focus on that because people come to your shows, they want to hear that record. They want to hear you kill it. And if you haven't had the amount of time to practice, man, you're going to embarrass yourself. And I'm seeing that even with artists that are seasoned, they're going on the road, they're doing these shows. I'm watching them out there and they're sweating, they're busting their tails, man. They're working extra hard for a little to nothing, no kind of money, man. And that I ain't willing to do either.
Yeah, but I mean, some of, as I said, some of our big R&B artists from the '90s, they're constantly on the road, and it just seems as if yes, they are making more by doing those shows compared to, the side that you are doing, which is becoming a recording artist, putting a lot of work, money in making really good videos, recording really solid songs, sounds really great. But then they seem to it pays better doing this live shows, even with a backing track, as opposed to even having to pay for a band. Yeah, but how did you make that decision to not take the, I won't say the easy route, but the route that seems to be a little bit more stable?
Because nobody knows who I am on the road yet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So to me, it's not a good business move So I already got a niche as a recording artist. So I'm going to continue to build that. And when it's time for me so then when I step away from all this music, listen, think about it. When I get done putting all these records out, by then going back to sing them live, people can go back to what I did, record it, and be like, it's there. Versus I'm on the road singing the same 6 songs because I don't got nothing else. And then, but when I do a show, I got 30, 40, 50 records to choose from what I want to sing in any given set. And I don't got to do the same records every night, depending on what I want to do. So I got a plan, but most importantly, those guys have names. Yeah. So if I'm Drew Hill, I can sing sleeping in my 6 of my old records from the 90s and get off stage and go home. Yeah. Don't got to worry about nothing new. You know what I'm saying? So, and those guys are out there doing it. I see them all the time. Ruffins, Donnell Jones, Men at Large, all my guys, man. I love them all, man. Tank, all of them killing the game in that regard. Joe even, they all out there still working. When you have that name in my age group, it's just any kind of income is out there for you because you have previous history. And so that helps you. I go out there on the road, nobody knows who I am. They're like, who is this dude? So it wouldn't be smart until I build myself. Now I've been asked to go on the road with quite a couple of our artists out there that's doing their thing out there independently, but have a famous name. And I wasn't prepared. And I'm always transparent about that kind of stuff. I had to get my writer ready. The writer is what all the amenities and the things you require when you go on the road and do shows and touring. If those don't know what a writer is, you got to have a writer. And insurance, liability insurance to protect yourself out there on the road and fall off the stage. Even though the promoter typically, or the venue typically does, but I want my own too. And that costs money and you got to find the right company to back you. So liability wise, it's just a lot of things that go into doing tours, not just putting on a nice shirt and slacks and getting up there with a microphone.
Yeah. Well, what is your plan with, are you continually just focusing on singles upon singles, or do you ever then consider, let me put up an EP, or is it, in this day and age, is it even worth putting an album or an EP together, or just having singles?
Well, I'm going against the grain. The good thing about being an independent artist, I can do whatever I want to do, however I want to do it within the realm of the situation. So for me, I put out a lot of singles already. I did an EP of a cover record, Throwback to Covers Volume 1, now has about 14, almost 15 million streams. And I have a Volume 2 coming before Christmas. So between now and Christmas, I'm putting out all original St. Jaimz material. Now, y'all heard me do cover records, remakes, derivative change covers, whatever you want to call them. But now, between now and Christmas, you're going to hear nothing but original St. Jaimz and team produced R&B record. So the first one off the presses is my latest single. It's called You Should Have Told Me. Almost at 1 million streams in 5 days. Wow. I'm just about that. So, but the new project is called the R&B Remedy, because St. Jaimz presents the R&B Remedy. And basically I'm gonna do 6 songs. So I'm putting all 6 songs out individually. Then I'm coming back with a different cover, and that's called the R&B Remedy. So each single will have its cover. And then I'm having with just all 6 songs on it as the EP. So I'm gonna put the EP out after I drop each single individually first, and then come back with a collector's. Now I'm gonna give game real quick. CDs may not be popular, but every vehicle around the world now comes with USB ports. Yeah. So artists can now go buy and purchase credit card size USB thumb drives, and you can put your music on there, put your logo on the have your logo printed on the on a credit card drive, and sell that with a T-shirt and merchandise it, and then it's like selling CDs all over again. That's the new future for me. I believe how you can put your music on a credit card thumb drive and sell it for whatever marketable price you want to, with your brand and your image on it, and you can maybe package it with a T-shirt or some kind of other merchandise, and people will support you and buy it.
Are they getting it through the website, or are they getting this through tour venues? In your case?
Well, they'll probably get it on my official website. I suggest all artists start really channeling people towards your official website. It's a hard thing to do because people are just creatures of habit. They love the usual suspects, going to the streaming platforms. They love going to social media platform. Going to your website, for the most part, is people just act like they just cannot type in that website, and it's just, here it is, your phone in your hand, just type on it, you know. So, but if you're an independent artist, you want people to go to your website for your content and your stuff more so than anything else. So yeah, probably still at my website. I got a St. James apparel page, a merchandise page. So never limit yourself. You know, have different options for where they can get the merchandise or the music. So working it all angles, man.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and now seeing you have various collaborations, these artists that you collaborate with, are these ones who are independent on them by themselves as well, or are they signed with you, or what's the relationship?
Combination. So I have a couple of artists that are signed to me as a partnership. I don't believe in signing artists in terms of a dictatorship and a label, a deal. It's more of a partnership agreement where I'm a CEO of my independent label, Household Name Entertainment, and so what I try to do is partner with these artists independently. So if I figured out some things and I got some connections and opportunity to help you get where you need to be, or at least give you traction, and then you partner with me, I 50-50, we 50-50 the cost of making the record or the project, and then we distribute it, we put it out, we recoup 50-50 back. So to me, that's the best way. Artists you maintain a level of ownership of your stuff. I know labels kind of say they do that, but they really don't do that. Mm. But it wouldn't be smart business to not protect yourself and have an investment risk, you know, or return on your investment and understand the risk. So, you know, I just try to do that. So these artists are typically just kind of partnered with me, and I got my own little independent little machine I'm putting together of how to get stuff done. They see the traction, they see what I'm doing. They're like, okay. And we just work together. Like my newest artist I'm working with is Jay Chosen. I know you probably heard of Jay Chosen.
Yes.
I did a 4-song EP with Jay Chosen, and it's really got some really great records on it. We shot 3 videos and waiting on a couple other things. Then I'm going to be putting St. Jaimz Presents. So when you see St. Jaimz Presents or St. Jaimz featuring, I may or may not be vocally on the record, but if my name is on it, I either produced it, co-wrote it, or I'm executive over and putting it out. So I'm doing a Quincy Jones type thing for independent artists that I meet, and just trying to, you know, keep it going, man.
Yeah, I mean, so somebody like with Jay Chosen, who you know, I've had on the show, probably one of my first early guests. What do you expect from somebody like him as to try and, because some people might say, oh, was he the guy on The Voice? But because it's quite been some time, how would you then sort of use his past, his voice and his presence to try and push him?
Where everything that you have is content. I don't care how old it is or how fresh it is. If someone's never, like, if people don't remember 24 to 48 hours news cycle or social media cycle, what you did, unless they go back looking. So use what you have. So I'm definitely going to incorporate his voice experience and what he went through with The Voice, and all good, what he could do, what he loved about it, what he would do differently, and blah blah blah, to my advantage in terms of content and branding him. As far as what I'm doing, the project that I'm putting together. He's still an independent artist. He's still a free agent. He got a manager. He has a manager, and other than that, he's still his own man in this business. I will never try to take away someone's exclusivity or rights to do what they want to do. Yeah. But when the project I'm invested in and I'm involved in with him, this is the direction I want to take it. I think it'll help you get where you want to be, or at least get you some traction to the next level. See, his thing is, he doesn't have enough original material to sing when he's on the road. Now, he does a lot of shows, but he's having to sing a lot of cover records and a couple of his own. Now I give him 4 more options of original music to now sing when he starts getting booked for shows. And these are dope records. Once people see that they're out and streaming and doing well, then he'll get booked better, because he's not just singing other people's songs. He's now singing Jay Chosen records. It doesn't matter if I produced them or not. That's all helped him, brother. He's a really good dude. And I'm excited about this project. It's called The Chosen One. Wow. St. Jaimz Presents Jay Chosen, The Chosen One. And we got some really four beautiful, dope R&B records, and stay tuned for that. So yeah, man, it doesn't stop.
There is a lady that you've done a number of good duets with, who, when I look at her, she reminds me of Gabrielle Union. Is it
Sinette?
Sinette, yes. What's the relationship with her?
Me and Sine, unfortunately, we're not cool any longer. There's some politics going behind the scenes when you deal with people. You know, people make their choice. This business is cutthroat, as you know, and can be very no loyalty. So, you know, if somebody comes along and wants to, you know, talk, Sine was a free agent. She wasn't my artist. We were just like, she's like little sis, I'm big bro, and we love music, and she's talented. She gave, you know, I took on the records we did together. Sine was basically hired to sing on those records. It was no contract. I mean, we was an agreement and work for hire. And then I paid her what she wanted to sing on the songs. She got paid. I got the ownership of the vocals and the rights to her voice and her likeness when we shot videos. And she was free to do what she wanted to do. But when people come behind your back and try to steal an artist from you that's not even your artist, and then the artist doesn't have the respect for all you did for them, you know, because those two songs put her in a position where people would take paying attention and noticed her a lot more than before. And then you end up working with someone else, and you don't tell me that I got to hear about it on the internet and behind my back. It just felt it's kind of I'm very transparent, so it's not, you don't hear me being belittling the young lady. What I'm saying is that the lack of maturity was unacceptable. So with that being said, you know, she's on those records, but them was St. Jaimz Productions, and I'm gonna keep it at that.
Okay. There's another stuff with your dad, you know, always reminds me of Ron Isley. What's what is the situation with your dad and the music?
Pops is 78 now. He's a year older, but more spry and feisty than he was last year. He's to get ready. We shoot Pop's video next Friday, or Thursday or Friday, the 24th, I believe. I forgot what date it is, but yeah, we shoot the video next Thursday, I believe. It's called Technology. You know, being older, as you get older, you get more nervous and insecure about all the advances in technology, from smartphones to devices and technology and stuff. So we did a really funky West Coast swag type record with Pops. It's killer. It's called Technology. Wait till you get his record. And we shoot the video. I can't wait. So Pops is anxious to get his music out as he gets older, because he wants to leave a legacy and a catalog behind when he's out of here. So, but you know, shit, he might outlive all of us.
Yeah.
My grandmama lived to be 104. So
I mean, you know, and as I said, there's anyone that's watching, I do encourage you to, if you're on YouTube, just search for St. Jaimz, see his YouTube channel, and see the quality music that he's constantly putting out. It is, you know, it is very much a throwback to what you enjoyed if you're somebody who loves 90s and 80s R&B. Even his dad, called Pops, you know, if he as I said, he reminds me of Ron Isley. He has that type of vibe. Yeah, as I said, but I think the thing that really gets me is that you know, and I remember when you did the first remix and you did the Bobby Brown Rock With You. Was it Rock With You? Yeah, did Rock With You, and you did it wasn't it was it Shalimar? Did you? It wasn't Shalimar.
That was for the Mama song, for the Mama's record. That Shalimar vibe for the Mama. You talking about Bernard Wright? Who Do You Love? Or which one did you?
Yeah. So it was. So I mean, so I like the fact that you're mixing. You do the covers, but you give it a turn. You change it up a little bit, but also the fact that you continually put out your own stuff that you write, and you're still staying in a lane, which I still wonder why a lot of our R&B acts that we're very familiar with don't seem to stay in that. They tend to say the music that people to love and appreciate. Why don't we continue going back and do that? Why do we need to try and be a Twitch what Drake is doing and try and tap into a young artist that doesn't seem to relate to that? So what has made you stay consistently doing the type of R&B that we grew up with and not feel like, okay, I need to do some trap music type of R&B?
You can trap your record in terms of the hi-hats and all that stuff, and you know, and give it that trap production inside the music, but you got to stay true to the essence and the core essence of R&B. And so The reason why I do that is because I've already test marketed my music. I know that my demographic is not 18 to 30 years old. It's not, ideally. So why am I going to try to make records for anyone 18 to 30 years old if they don't, that's not their thing. So they can't even relate to what I'm talking about. That's not all, it's over their head or it's beneath them in their mindset. So why would I insult myself by trying to reach an age or demographic that doesn't even appreciate me as a grown man? So I'm going to go towards the people, towards the age group that I believe will support what I do. And that's 35 and up. So they don't want to hear trap. So, I mean, it's cool. They like elements of it. And some songs, a hit is a hit, regardless if it's trap, R&B, pop, rock, classic, or country. But a sound, creating a sound is most important. What's been most important to me is creating a sound. I have my own unique sound. Yes, it's reminiscent of the 90s. Yes, it's reminiscent of the 80s, even some early 2000s stuff. But it's my own unique signature. And I don't sound like anybody else out there. You can try to match me. Who? Name an artist I sound like. I mean, I heard the Avants and the different Donnell Jones and stuff and Eric Benet and stuff, but overall, you cannot compare me to anybody. I got my own style. That comes from years of being rejected, big doors closed in your face, go back to the drawing board, redoing stuff until you I just leave the stuff out there, and I love what I do without looking to be loved by the world. And I think a lot of people that's my age that are still doing the new, that are trying to do the new music. Yeah, they're still stuck in the old industry way of thinking that everybody in the world is going to like your stuff, even the young kids. I don't want the young kids. Let's be clear. The young kids, they may have money or can obtain money, but the mama got a 401k, the daddy got a retirement account, dad got money in the bank, dad pays the mortgage. You don't pay the mortgage. So and mom and dad go to concerts and travel and fly out of the country. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Those are the people I want to support my music. And if I get some young people along the way and they drip and drop along the way, so be it. But my goal is to reach my age group specific to the sound that I create. Yeah. I mean, for anyone who's joining now, so this is Halftime Chat with St. Jaimz, who is an independent artist and who I've had on the show about a year ago. This is the first time that we've actually going live. So in the past, I would normally pre-record an interview them and premiere it, but this time we're actually going live with this interview. And as I said, if anyone hasn't heard his music, please just search on YouTube, or even go to his website, but search on YouTube St. Jaimz, and he is, if you're really in love with 80s and 90s R&B, St. Jaimz continuously makes that type of music, and he invests a lot in his craft. You know, this is something that we don't see with some of our 90s R&B acts that we're very familiar with. When they're making music today, it's pretty much almost like a rush job, quickly record stuff so we can just use that to say that we're still around. But St. Jaimz, to him, it is like a craft, and he takes his time and puts out quality stuff. So please check out his stuff. You know, follow him on YouTube and other services, and you just let us know what you think of him. And you know, a little bit of your story, because people might not remember. So you were in the military. I think we were stationed in Germany. Yes, sir. You were stationed in Germany, and then you had an opportunity to audition on the Apollo, and so you flew from Germany for the audition on Apollo. Do you want to just share that story, because it was a good one? Good memory. Yeah, we flew from Germany. My group, singing group, everybody in the 90s was a group. You know, Silk, Shy Boys, and Men, Jodeci. I was killing the game. Drew Hill, all them cats. So so we flew to Germany. I mean, flew from Germany to New York. Apollo didn't win the Apollo, but we didn't get booed, which is essential to amateur night. So we were happy about not getting booed, because you get booed, that's an embarrassing to come all the way from Germany to booed. You could have stayed in Germany for that. So. And then we were disappointed nonetheless for not winning. We end up in the train station inside Times Square. We were headed out back to our place we were staying. Next thing you know, we're singing. We start harmonizing on the escalator. Someone heard us, called Joe's management. They contacted us. We auditioned. We got background. We started singing back. We got the background gig for Joe's first project.
Wow. And yeah, you know, and you know, and I know you were knocking on doors. I mean, tell the story about getting up to Diddy's office.
Yeah, well, you know, I shopped a lot of record deals in probably 2004. I want to say it was blizzard in New York. I mean, 20 something, man, crazy amounts of snow. So it was just like, so I'm in there. Me and my former manager at the time, close friend and manager at the time, we were like, he knew a lot more than me. So I was just the artist. He was like really leading me, and I was just following. So we got into some big label doors, man. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. But we ended up going up to Bad Boy Records at the time. And I think that's when New Edition had just signed to Diddy.
Oh, yes. Hot Tonight.
That was back. Yeah, they had just signed their deal with Bad Boy at the time. And so me and my boy went up, we went to the front desk. And back in those days, you were told to not take no for an answer. Beat down doors. Here's my demo. You know, here's my demo. You know, you didn't get. If you see somebody coming out there, famous, hey, you know, you just attack them. So we did. So we went to the front desk. I was like, "This is St. James. I got a meeting with Sean. I didn't call him Puppy or Diddy. I said Sean. He was like, "You got a meeting?" I said, "I got a meeting with Sean Combs." He said, "Who should I tell him's here?" I said, "St. James and the management." And so they took my name, called up there. They've led us up to the elevator. We got to the penthouse suite, to the top, right there in Sean's office area in the lobby, man. And 3-4 big Muslim brothers, man, with bow ties. These brothers, I'm talking, these is As-salamu alaikum brothers. These are big boys. My brother, no. These brothers, man, did not let us get off the elevator. They said, Sean doesn't know you, bro. I was like, come on, man. I'm hungry. I'm a starving artist. I'm wanted bad, man. I was told you got to push past the nonsense to get to it, man. So what's up? Can I get an opportunity to meet Sean? I got my demo. I got my CD, whatever. Can I sit in the boom room and play a couple of records? Them turned us around. Them big boys turned us around like bodyguards and pushed us into the elevator. So, you know, I don't know if you saw the movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
Yeah.
Remember the two guys was like, they thought they was a striving artist and wanted to be famous. So it was like the window or the stairs. They would come out the window or toss them down the stairs when they were getting the rejection. So we was like, window or the stairs. We ain't scared.
Oh,
so they put us in the elevator and took us down. I was so mad. I started saying, I said, you need to stick to making clothes. You need to stick to clothes because you ain't no hit Biggie. You know what I mean? I just went in. My boy was mad, but I went outside and said, I'm not about to chase this cat. This cat ain't, I'm good. And then those are the type of things you go through when back in those days when you could go to actual labels, man. You're going to get rejection or you're going to get opportunity. So it was funny.
Did you ever get to see Clive Davis? Or
I never got to see Clive directly, but I did get in the J Records. I got a chance to meet somebody close to him. His head VP person. I can't remember who it was, Kelly Mack or somebody at the time. I did get to meet Ruben Studdard when he had first won the American Idol. I was just shopping the deal that day. I was there when Rod Stewart walked out of there with that $10 million deal with J Records for that album cover records he did. Remember he did?
Yeah.
Rod Stewart came out there with the rock star hands up. He was like, F yeah. He was happy, man. Came out there, inked that deal. And that record went on to sell millions of copies. So I was there the day he inked that deal. The day Clay Aiken had got off the elevator acting like he didn't know anybody. You know, like, what's up, Clay? Congratulations. And he was like, he walked by us like, you know, was like, excuse me, did you not just hear us thank you, brother? We called him out on it. He was like, sorry, I'm just really tired. I was like, well, you're tired, but don't act like people that just say hello to you and show you some love, man. You're going to need things like this. But I mean, you just see, it's just regular people, man, moody, indifferent, like anything else, tired. And, you know, and a lot of times, it's a facade, man. This whole industry can be a lot of facade and fluff and smoke and mirrors, man. Real talk.
Yeah, you know, as I said, I've had the privilege of being able to speak to about 50, 60, 70 different artists, and you know, when they don't have the machine of the industry behind them, they are more down to earth. They're more like, okay, yeah, man, you know, it's back then, you know, we had all this in our ear, but we didn't realize that there was someone else was taking all our stuff, and it is heartbreaking that, you know, you trust the people you're writing, they say, yeah, we'll put your name on the credits, but when you're actually not taking any money home and stuff. So you've decided, to do it your way, the hard way. And I don't know if you saw J. King talk about, you have to do your homework, you have to research, you have to invest in yourself instead of having somebody else invest in you and taking ownership of that. So just as we get ready to wrap up, what advice would you give aspiring recording artists who are looking to get into the game, looking to get signed, looking to get that big check, and instead of doing what you're doing?
I think they're going to have to really be more polished than they are. And with the lack of artist development in the industry, anybody, back in the day, artists were developed. So when you came in raw, talented, you were very raw and rugged and rough around the edges. You had a stylist, designer, you had vocal coach, you had, engineers, you had writers and people that would develop you until you became more and more polished. And you saw Mary J. Blige go from just very raw to like, look at her now, like, she's just fucking, excuse me, she's just amazing. Excuse me. Yeah. Fucking amazing. I'm just gonna say it. I love it. When you think about Mary's journey, she didn't start out the queen of soul. Of R&B soul. She didn't of hip hop soul, whatever. She that's what Aretha Franklin, my bad. The queen of hip hop soul. Mary J. Blige and a lot of other artists polished themselves. So these artists have to get polished. It's a lot of work involved in that. And you got to get a good team. You can't do this alone. As much as you think you can, you're only as dope as a team around you of people that tell you what you need to work on and give you the truth. It's like anything else. And most importantly, if you're looking for a major deal, be prepared to give up something, a lot, in order to get it. If you're willing to do it on your own, surround yourself with a good team, take out a bank loan, learn the system, learn all the ins and outs between radio, promotions and marketing, and distribution. And once you do all of that, be prepared for your learning curve to kick you in your behind for a while until you master it. And then once your attitude changes about what you expect, then the real traction and journey of your musical career can begin. As long as you're stuck in the whole perception that the world's gonna love you and everybody's gonna like what you do, you're really gonna find yourself struggling. So if any advice I can give you, just kind of be patient, humble yourself in that regard, and learn the lessons, and learn to listen to somebody that's been there doing it already or have done it.
Yeah.
It's a lot. No really quick cut answer to it, man, because there's so many layers, so much to do to be an artist, man, to do all of this. So it's no cut, 3-4 words to say. It's like so much crap that you got to filter through in order just to, man, if you knew all the stuff I put up with just to get to where I'm at, just to get to you today, just to talk to you today, you don't know what kind of stuff I done dealt with on the phone and what kind of crap I done put up with prior to the 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time interview I got. But I'm here, I'm on time, and I'm giving you my honest best and transparency. And so that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, you've done it you're here the hard way. You've worked and you've grafted. Do you run masterclasses to how to get in the music industry for people to join in, or
I give it free, man. Listen to me. This game is to be told, not sold.
Okay, Mr. Masterpiece.
It's to be told, not sold. I believe that this is information that every artist should be given by other artists, especially young black artists and black men. We are, as a people, we all trying to make money. We all got families to feed. We all have overhead. And we all need to eat and all that. I get all of that. But some of this stuff that we're charging artists to do, it should be a crime to charge them, because it should be free information. And it's up to the artist to apply it. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not trying to monetize something that I wish somebody had to share with me when I didn't know. So if you don't know, and ignorance, like they'll tell you in a court of law, ignorance of the law does not excuse the consequences for not knowing. So just because you don't know what's going on in the business doesn't mean that you get to get excuses or you'll get a pass because you didn't do your research. And as J. King said, do your research and invest in yourself.
And then, you mentioned that you do partnerships with. Are you, if you recognize somebody who has a talent, do you look to go and do partnerships where, you know, if they approach you, is that something that they can come to you and say, for partnerships and working together?
Absolutely. I'm open to anybody that's willing to partnership and listen. And when I say listen, it's because somebody's got to be in charge. That's just kind of the way it is. You can still be in charge, but if you can do it by yourself, you wouldn't need a partner. So if you got a partner that's older, a little more experienced, got a lot more going on, has been through some things, it's not that I'm telling you what to do. It's I'm instructing you because I've already made those mistakes. And that therefore that puts me at a different leverage of the situation. And if you're caught in your ego, you're going to see it that way. If you really care about getting out there, getting some traction, getting respect, or your music being appreciated, then you have to listen to someone that's already doing what you're trying to do. That's all. And good luck with that, because the average artist is really egotistical. And it's unfortunate because people will tell you you're awesome, you're great, you're this wonderful person, you're this super dope, talented person. And that's what motivates you to continue to do it more than the art itself. And so ego is not going to be eliminated from the industry when people put you on a pedestal, but then get people standing on it. They'll tell you, oh, you're arrogant or you're this. But you just told me I'm awesome, I'm great, and all these wonderful things about me. I'm not supposed to accept that as the truth and stand on the pedestal. It doesn't mean that I want to be on there, but you just put me up there. Now you want to tell me not to stand on it and acknowledge that I'm standing on it? I have to know where my footing is. So when people come at me about this whole St. James thing, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I understand at this point in my life that you're only as good as the next best record. You're only as good as how people perceive you to be. And the minute you tell people no to something, you're nothing. It's just how people are. You tell them yes, they love you. You tell them no, all of a sudden they don't love you. It's amazing. So you just gotta have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So guys, we've just spent the past hour, this hour with live with St. Jaimz, an incredible independent artist who's a writer, producer, and recording artist. I've put in the chat the links to his YouTube channel. But St. Jaimz, as we wrap up, can you just give everyone the handles of where they can follow you and keep in touch with you?
Yes, before I do that, I want to shout out my team, particularly my promotions team, Miss Coco Reyes of Coco Reyes Entertainment, Tasha Britton, my promotion specialist, my PR public relations person, Jay Ross, the boss. I got my engineer, my team, my pops, Kaleo Ross, just so many people. My boy Max Caesar, my big bro, my little bro, but he's a big little bro out of Louisiana. Miss Cece, his lovely lady, and they've been really instrumental in helping me understand the streaming game. There's so much I didn't know, and as you learn, you need people that really willing to help you and teach you and support you. So I want to shout out those people and the DJs and of course the radio station, digital radio stations that play my music. So many other people to thank. Thank you so much. Most importantly, you can find me on my official website at stjaimz.com, SAINTJAIMZ.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, even LinkedIn, believe it or not. That's another a good place for people. I'm telling you, if you want to network business-wise, not music, but business, LinkedIn is the place where you're going to find everybody in the music industry on LinkedIn that has some kind of credential or experience or connection.
Wow. Oh, great. And no, not at all. So just finally, you've got your new single that's dropped. What's the name of your new single that just dropped this past week?
Oh, my new single is You Should Have Told Me. Just due to a relationship where you think everything's good from your end, but someone on the other side is not happy, and they didn't tell you until it's too late.
Yeah,
wasn't happy. So that's a really dope. Doing really good, getting really good reviews. I'm excited about that. That's one of my first singles off the R&B Remedy EP and the St. Jaimz original. No cover, no remake.
Yeah, guys, as I said, I can't stress it enough to search St. Jaimz and just let us know what you think about his music and about the fact that he is. I can't remember the first time we interviewed. You mentioned about keeping. You're on a mission to keep R&B.
I would not abort the R&B mission.
He'd not abort the R&B mission.
I would not abort the We miss you.
Yeah, and that's been true. As I said, he's been very consistent with his music and stuff. And so, if there's anyone out there who's actually an aspiring artist or an established artist that wants some support, and you actually are willing to put in the work and stuff, reach out to St. Jaimz. As I said, Jay Chosen, who was a contestant on The Voice, he was actually part of oh, what's her name from No Doubt, Gwen Stefani's team. He's he's been working hard, but he's teamed up with St. Jaimz to do some records, and I can't wait for that to come out. And I've had Jay Chosen on my show. He's one of the, really loved his interview, really loved his background story, and he's really humble and down to earth. So I can't wait to hear the collaboration with the two of you and stuff. But yes, Jaimz, it's really great to see. It's really good to see from the lockdown to now, still staying consistent and not changing and not chasing the quick buck, but still grinding. And as I said, please, guys, just follow him, check his stuff out. You won't be disappointed with his music. As I said, most of the audience here, you guys have grew up in the 90s, and that was the music you were really into, and we talk about missing that. As I said, you won't be disappointed if you follow his music and just see the consistency of what he's doing. So,
hey man, it's good to see you, buddy. How you doing? How's family? How's everybody?
Yeah, we've been doing good. It's as I said, a lot's changed over the years and stuff, but the thing that hasn't changed is the fact that we still love this music. And
right.
And it's important that we do promote and support artists like yourself who are really trying to push it through and stuff and bring positivity, because no one else is going to do it if we don't stick together and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I appreciate your opportunity to be on your show, Halftime Chat, once again. Hey, great platform. Make sure y'all subscribe. Click that subscribe and the bell on the YouTube right now. But it's the video on this channel. And I appreciate you, my brother, and God bless you guys out there in the UK and England and all of that, man. And hey, I'm getting some UK traction finally with my records, man. This new record, well, and then you start to blow up on the UK. It's just getting started. Just dropped it last Friday, so it's not even been 7 days. So I'm going to go hard with the UK, but they showing love over there already. Jay Ross, the boss, is putting in the UK work and well, but man, I'm excited about this original music, because now people are going to finally get to hear my true sound as an original material for the next probably 8 to 10 records.
Yeah, well, and it's good. As I said, I also appreciate the fact that you agreed to come on live, because I've not done this before. I'm not, the last time, we had the gardener show up and everything. So,
yeah. But I love it. But it flowed pretty good to me. I mean, I'm a conversation. People probably think I talk too much, but most importantly, man, when you're communicating and articulating this in this business, and you have something to say, ain't no short answer here, man. This industry is not there's a long game. The music industry is a long game, not short. So yeah. I articulate that in my interviews, is the way I communicate, because people wait on every word. Just like when I'm singing, now you're hearing me verbally talk, and having some sense and being intellectual and articulate helps to convey your message just as much as vocally singing.
Yeah. Well, I think, as I said, thanks to St. Jaimz. And as I said, guys, check him out: Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and especially his website, because, we want to support our independent artists. But as I said, he's got a lot of good stuff for us to listen to. So
right.
I'm sure we'll be back again. So not to worry, especially probably when I bring in Jay Chosen, bring you in to talk about the collaboration. And then we look forward to the Christmas stuff that you're going to be releasing as well.
And Pop's new stuff, and I got another artist, Tony Mosley, another R&B artist. He's up in he's about mid-60s, but he's like at that point, like the whole Charlie Wilson vibe. He's all into like a Jail Vert vibe. So Tony, I got a couple of records with Tony Mosley. I did. He's at about 4 million organic streams between both records in less than 6 months. So the opportunity's there. We just got to work. So I appreciate you, man. Thanks again. Get to it.
Yeah, definitely. But I appreciate it. And guys, thanks for tuning in live. As I said, this is probably one of the first of many that we will start doing. But as I said, St. Jaimz is, he's started something new for us on Halftime Chat. And so, as I said, please show him love. Please show him love and stuff.
I'm a trendsetter. Get it, baby.
He is a trendsetter. He is a trendsetter.